Monica Mugenyi. Honorable Justice Monica Mugenyi also concluded that I think I would therefore hold the majority that the civilians that aid and abet civilians that are military persons in commission do offense in the service of, do by their actions subject themselves to military law under the Act. At page 120, at page 22, she says, I do additionally find that the provisions do not constitute exceptional circumstances under which the trial of civilians in military courts should be justified, and to that extent it's inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution. Justice Mwanda agreed with the judgment of the Chief Justice. Justice Pase Mugenyi said, Justice Pase Knight Twaise says, in its present state, the General Court Martial, though lawfully set up by an Act of Parliament, deriving such powers under Article 129(1)d, or is, in its present form, competent only to try matters relating to discipline of members. So she's also saying, in its present form, it can only try discipline, but cannot try things. So I'll share, Right Honorable Chair and members, we are going to write out and try and point out to you the exact provision, the exact paragraph where the judges said whatever they said on the issue of thing. I think for me, what I understood this to mean is that civilians can be tried in the General Court Martial in exceptional circumstances. The question for this committee and Parliament, what are those exceptional circumstances? What we have brought to you, colleagues, is what we think are exceptional circumstances. I beg to submit. I thank you.
Chair, this is for the Attorney General because he's going, and I wanted to ask very briefly 3 things to explain why then, after the justices of the Supreme Court, having made all those analyses, in the final orders, they did not put that. Why didn't they reduce that into an order of court? You will explain in there. All that I think, because when a judge is saying, I think, and I did this and this, in the analysis, but in the final orders, stop short of putting that in their final orders. Later, I also want you to confirm to this committee 2 things. If we process this act, and by Friday it is passed, and by Monday it is signed, will it apply to the 400 plus people who are still being held in defiance of the very Supreme Court? Will they be tried under the new act? That's a question I want you to answer. Well, in case the act comes into force.
If the Parliament...
No, let me finish. Just one more. Then thirdly, why do you think their Lordship said transfer all and did not say use others? Transfer all. Those 3. If you can answer now, it's okay, but later it's still fine.
Chair, why we are trying to safeguard this power, it is because the army has been involved in petty cases. Let me, Chair, bring the Attorney General to one where Captain Ola was added on a case of Dr. Besigye, yet he was remanded months and months before the case was committed. The army has lost trust, and given this power that it can easily come up with a case and it claims conspiracy, and an individual who is a civilian can be added onto another case. It has been realized that many cases, somebody is picked from nowhere and then added to one similar case. And this brings it to that point that they have broken the trust, that we cannot give them such power. As well, how far with transferring all these cases that we are sent to the civilian courts?
Honorable Chair, before he takes leave, statute of tenure and the privileges part of the framework you need to have independence. I have not seen anywhere a privileges framework for the persons so appointed under this proposal. Are they equivalent to magistrates grade 1? Are they high court judges? Where is the privileges framework as the extension of security and independence.
Thank you very much. Privileges is a new thing, and the Army will tell you that if they were to ask for the privileges that we enjoy, our pass may get finished. So we want to encourage you to leave the issue of privileges. In as far as the Army is concerned, we are going slowly, increasing salaries and etc. So these issues of privileges, the privilege to serve is there. They are serving. I discussed this with them, that's why I'm quickly answering. It is for them a privilege to serve in the Army. But the security of tenure, yes. Broken trust, that is a view that you hold, but I think we can work on rejuvenating this trust if you think you have lost it, by putting in place the safeguards that you would like to put in place. I don't think it is wise for us to throw out the bath waters because you see the court martial colleagues has been here for at least for the NRM government since 1986 by legal notice number 1 of 1986. The court martial has been here, and we were happy with what the court martial was doing until a few cases that we are having a problem. Because I hear some people are saying they are happy with the court martial, you're saying you're not happy with the court martial. I think together we can sit down and say, what is it that we do not like? What is it can we do to make it better? I don't think it is wise to throw out the bath waters, the child with the bath waters, because of a problem. Why the judgment says so, Honorable Dura, I think like Honorable Katumbi said, we shall sit down and go through this, because I have told you my understanding of the judgment, and I am reading to you what I am reading from the judgment of the court. That is my understanding of that judgment, and I'm going to share with you what my understanding, because I've been hearing many people saying this, and when I read it, I read a different thing. So we shall sit down as colleagues in Parliament and say, is this what the court said? Because I'm sure next they may say that I am misquoting the judge. So we shall get a certified copy from the court, bring it here and say page 44 says this, page 46 says this, so that I am not accused of bringing new words into the judgment of the court. So that's really my understanding. Retrospective effect of legislation, you're the legislator. If you're magnanimous enough to give us retrospective application of the law, we'll be happy to take it. No, he asked a question, I'm just answering. So, why did they say transfer all civilians? Because the court martial as it was constituted was not fit to do the job. But, pardon? I really can't answer that question now, because you see, honorable colleagues, when I came here the first time and I told you that I had forwarded the matter to the DPP, some of you really harangued me for attempting to interfere with the power of the DPP under Article 120. I was in this house. Said, why are you writing to the DPP? I said, okay, I just forwarded the judgment of the court, and the judgment said these things have to be taken over by the state. So now I dare not write to the DPP to tell the DPP how to do their work. So I can't answer that question because you advised me to stay away from the DPP. This Parliament. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. We now need